I am Alex Carter, a 32-year-old man, the owner and CEO of a small but rapidly growing tech company in Austin, Texas. I used to believe that work and family were all I needed. However, I didn't realize that it was precisely my work, the thing I had dedicated my whole youth to building, that would cause me to lose everything. Life never goes according to plan. I once thought that with all my efforts, everything would eventually fall into place. I built the company from the ground up, starting from a cramped office with only a few employees, to expanding it and having hundreds of clients. I was proud of what I had accomplished. Yet, as the company grew, it swallowed me whole, and I no longer had time for Emily, my wife. Emily was the woman I fell in love with the moment we met. She was smart, strong, and always made me feel like the luckiest man alive. But as my company slowly expanded, I failed to notice that something else was changing. Our relationship? Day after day, I was busy with work, long meetings, and financial reports. Emily started showing up at dinner with a tired, distant expression, sometimes offering only forced smiles. Simple questions about her work that I asked were now met with dull, unenthusiastic responses. I thought she was just exhausted from her job. But then, one night, I noticed something very different. After a late day at work, I came home later than usual. The door opened, and I could hear the sound of someone laughing from the living room. The laughter wasn't from Emily. I stopped, a sense of unease creeping up inside me. It wasn't the cheerful laughter of a relaxing evening, but something far more intimate. I climbed the stairs, following the sound. When I opened the living room door, I saw a sight that made my heart stop. Emily and Michael, my best friend, were sitting together on the sofa, just inches apart. Their faces were flushed, tears still visible on Emily's face. Michael, with a miserable grin, looked at me as if waiting for a miracle. At that moment, all I wanted to do was scream, but I couldn't. I just stood there, staring at them. "Alex!" Emily burst into tears when she saw me. Her voice faltered, weak, as if she knew there was no explanation that would make sense. Michael stood up, but he couldn't escape my furious gaze. He tried to speak. "It's not what you think, Alex. Please, let me explain." But I didn't want to hear anything else. Nothing could justify what I had just seen. The pain felt like a punch to my stomach. I had lost both my family and my best friend, all at once. Confused thoughts rushed through my mind. Anger, despair, and humiliation made it impossible to stay calm. I lunged at Michael, without thinking, and punched him in the face. "You're my friend, Michael. But now, you're nothing but a traitor," I snarled. Michael stumbled back, blood pouring from his nose. I turned back to look at Emily, still crying. "So, you chose him, huh?" I asked, my voice as cold as ice. "Alex, Emily tried to explain, but I didn't want to hear it anymore. I didn't want to hear any more apologies, because I knew that no matter what she said, I would never trust her again. "We're getting a divorce," I declared, without hesitation. "Pack your things and leave my house immediately." Emily stood still, her eyes red, but she couldn't do anything other than pack her things. She couldn't say another word. Michael, still holding his face, could only look at me, his face full of disappointment. I didn't say another word. No need to. They were no longer the people I had loved. Apologies or explanations were just empty words now. I walked downstairs and went back to my office. I started doing what needed to be done, cutting all contact, requesting the divorce, and deciding to sell my share of the company to Michael. Michael had betrayed me, and I couldn't let him continue destroying what I had built. I calculated carefully, raising the price of the shares to double their actual value, partly because I wanted revenge, but also because I didn't want to let him get away easily with his mistakes. That evening, I did something I never thought I would do. I updated my Facebook status to inform everyone of the truth. Emily and Michael betrayed me. I've divorced her and will sell my share of the company. I want no further contact with them. My post spread quickly. Messages of condolences and inquiries flooded in, but I didn't care. I felt an odd sense of relief, though I knew that everything wasn't over. Then, a call came through from an unfamiliar number. A familiar voice spoke. "Alex, this is James, Emily's father." "Alex, this is James, Emily's father." His voice was deep, filled with unmistakable concern. My heart raced. I didn't want to take any more calls after what had just happened, but for some reason, I still pressed the button to answer. "What's going on, James?" I asked, my voice cold and exhausted. I just wanted it all to be over, but it seemed no one wanted to leave me in peace. "It's about Emily. She's not doing well, Alex. She's in the hospital." His voice trembled. She can't take it anymore. The doctors say she might not make it." I froze, his words ringing in my head like a wave crashing over me. My mind was in turmoil. The anger, the rage, all the negative emotions tangled together. What had I done to make things turn out this way? Had I been too harsh with her? Or had I been wrong to let go too soon? But no matter what, I couldn't forget the betrayal. "Alex, I can't do anything anymore. She has always loved you. She just doesn't know how to face the issues inside her. I don't know what to do anymore. She loves you, but she has done the worst thing she could to you," James said, as if pleading for me to forgive his daughter. A surge of anger erupted inside me, but it was immediately wiped away by helplessness. "James, I can't. I can't do anything anymore. It's all over. We really need you, Alex. I know she's wrong, and I can't forgive her. But she's falling apart, Alex. She wants to see you. She asked me if you could come." His words made me hesitate, unsure of what to do. I am a man of reason, but at this moment, emotions overwhelmed everything. After all, this was the person I had once loved, the person I had thought would walk through life with me. Finally, I sighed, deciding to set everything aside. I couldn't refuse him. "All right, I'll come," I said in a deep, cold voice, as if even I couldn't recognize what I was saying. The hospital was eerily quiet at this hour. I stood before the emergency room, looking down the long, sterile hallway where patients were being cared for. The lump in my throat made my legs feel like they were made of lead. I didn't want to be here, didn't want to face Emily, but part of me still felt responsible. How could I completely sever ties with her when our past was still a part of me? James greeted me at the door to the room, his eyes filled with sorrow and exhaustion. He led me inside. When I entered, I saw Emily lying in the hospital bed, the light from the night lamp casting a glow on her pale face. She looked like she had just gone through a terrible emotional storm. Her face was gaunt, her eyes swollen, but when she saw me, those eyes flickered with a glimmer of hope. "Alex," she called my name weakly, as though seeking salvation from me. I stood silently by the window, not daring to come any closer. She could see me, but I didn't know how I could face her. "Do you know what you've done?" I asked, my voice dry, unable to hold back my emotions. "You've betrayed me. You slept with my best friend, the one I trusted." Emily looked at me, her eyes bloodshot from crying, but she didn't say anything. It seemed she was trying to find some small part of herself in my gaze. "You can't understand, Alex. I was wrong, I know, but—" She choked on her words, her voice trembling. "I don't know why I did it. I felt so alone. You weren't the same anymore. The company, the work, everything took you away from me. I couldn't tell you I was in pain, because you were always busy. And then Matt. Matt was the only one there, the only one who listened to me. And I was wrong. I know I was wrong." I looked at her, feeling like the whole world was collapsing around me. Her apologies could soothe the pain, but I couldn't forget. It was too late. I couldn't imagine continuing to work with Matt after this. The company, the relationship, everything would just be irreparable ruins. "You say you felt lonely, but what about me? I did everything to ensure our life, to build a future for both of us. And you? What did you do?" I blurted out, knowing that I was saying things that hurt both of us. Emily choked up, looking at me like a child pleading for forgiveness. "I just want you back, Alex. But now I know I've lost everything. What can I do to make up for this? I'll do anything. I love you. I've always loved you. But I've ruined everything." She said it in a soft voice, but nothing could change the truth. Inside me, the anger still lingered, like an unhealed wound. Love could save, but it couldn't erase the betrayal. "You've lost me now, Emily," I said, my voice devoid of compassion. "I won't come back. It's over." Emily looked at me one last time, her eyes full of regret. And as for me, there was nothing but emptiness, as if everything had been taken from me. I left the hospital in silence. Every step I took echoed in my ears as a reminder that I would never return to the past. But deep down, I knew I would have to face Matt, and I couldn't forgive him, no matter the reason. The betrayal had cost me too much, and this time, I wouldn't let anyone hurt me again. When I got home, the silence felt unnervingly strange. This house, the place I had once thought would be our home, had become a cold, empty space. I sat on the couch, the family pictures on the walls reminding me of past memories. But now, everything was just a memory. I had lost what was most precious in my life. At that moment, my phone rang. A message from Michael. "Alex, I'm sorry. I know I've done the unforgivable, but can we meet? We need to talk." The message felt like a punch to my face. I didn't want to meet him. There was nothing left to say. Michael had betrayed me. He was my best friend, and now, he was nothing but a disgusting person in my eyes. But there was a part of me that still wanted to know why he did it. Just one meeting, so I could erase him from my life once and for all. I decided to text back, "Meet, but not to reconcile. I will not forgive you, but I need to end this." Then, I sighed, feeling exhausted with myself. That evening, we met at a quiet cafe. Michael had arrived before me, sitting in a dark corner of the cafe. He looked haggard, his face bruised from our earlier confrontation. I sat down, not looking at him, just focusing on my coffee. Michael took a deep breath, then looked at me with a guilty expression. "Alex, I don't know what to say. I know I was wrong, very wrong. But I couldn't control my emotions," Michael said, his voice trailing off, tired. "Why, Michael? I couldn't hold it in anymore. Why did you do that? Why betray me? I trusted you. I considered you family. You knew how much I loved Emily. You knew I dedicated my life to the company and family. What were you thinking when you did this?" Michael lowered his head, unable to look me in the eye. After a long pause, he sighed, as if he had no other way to explain himself. I don't know anymore, Alex. We were so different. You drifted further away. The company kept growing, and I felt like I was being left behind. Emily, she started feeling lonely. She didn't say it, but I knew. And I was just the one who listened to her at the time." "You listened to her?" I scoffed bitterly. "And you decided to betray me? You thought I wouldn't notice what was happening? What did you do when she needed care, Michael? You went to her, and now here we are, with everything shattered." "She still loves you, Alex. She still loves you," Michael said urgently. "We were both wrong, but it was a mistake, just a mistake. I was too weak to resist. I couldn't listen anymore. Everything felt too heavy, like a stone pressing on my chest. You don't understand. All your apologies are meaningless. She is my wife, Michael. You are my best friend. And now both of you have betrayed me." I stood up, delivering the final words, "You don't deserve to be my friend anymore. Both you and Emily have lost me. It's all over." After the meeting, I returned to the unfinished tasks at the company. Although things were starting to settle, I still couldn't shake the pain inside. Every decision I made now wasn't easy. I still had to solve a bigger issue. How could I escape the shadow of Emily and Michael so I wouldn't have to live in this painful past anymore? A few days later, I contacted my lawyer. We would proceed with the divorce. I couldn't continue living with a wife who had betrayed me. More importantly, I would sell my company shares to a new partner, one I completely trusted. There was nothing left in this relationship except the wreckage. That day, I stood in my lawyer's office, signing the divorce papers and deciding to sell my company shares. It felt like a chapter of my life had closed. But no, a new chapter was beginning. This chapter would no longer include Emily or Michael, just me, with the company and what I had built. I had done everything for the family, for her, but now I realized one thing. Sometimes, you have to learn to let go, no matter what. Failing in love doesn't mean you can't succeed in other things. Because I knew there was only one thing that mattered now. I had to live my life for myself. When I returned to the office, Michael contacted me again, this time by text. "You can't do this, Alex. We were once best friends. Don't let this ruin everything. I looked at my phone screen, gripping it tightly. But then, I just hit delete and threw the phone on the table. Nothing could change the truth. Everything was over. It was just me and the road ahead. I sat in my office, an ordinary morning like any other, but the feeling in my heart was far from ordinary. Yesterday, I had signed the divorce papers. My life had turned a new page, and though I couldn't go back to the days that had passed, I couldn't deny that I felt a strange sense of relief, as if a part of me had been lifted. But there was one thing I couldn't let go of, the price I had to pay for all of it. A week after the divorce decision, I notified my team about selling my company shares. While this wasn't an easy decision, I knew the company wouldn't grow if I had to continue working with the people who had hurt me. The employees were all surprised when I announced I would sell most of my shares to a new partner, but I had no other choice. Honestly, I didn't know if I could keep working with Michael after everything that had happened. He had broken my trust, and I couldn't let that betrayal affect my decisions in business. I couldn't let him continue running my company, and I was sure I couldn't be friends with someone who had betrayed me like that. But just when I thought everything had settled, a phone call from my lawyer startled me. I quickly answered, the anxiety rising within me. I was used to receiving updates from my lawyer about the progress of the divorce, but this time, Karen, my lawyer, sounded off. Alex, I think we need to talk right now, she said, her voice serious. What's going on? I asked, tension beginning to spread through my body. Kate, Michael's wife. She's threatening you. She's hired a lawyer and is trying to stop you from selling your company shares. Karen's voice sounded tense. She's threatening to file lawsuits and cause serious trouble for your business. My eyes narrowed, frustration and anger washing over me. At this point, I couldn't help but think about how Kate, Michael's wife, was still finding ways to hurt me, even though she was no longer a part of my life. She can't do anything, right? I tried to stay calm, but my voice still betrayed my anger. Not exactly. Kate is trying to attack the company from the inside. She's connected with an investment group and could shake the foundation of the company if we don't handle this immediately. You need to prepare for this, Karen said. At that moment, I felt like a hammer had struck my head. Kate and Michael had not only betrayed me emotionally, but now they were trying to destroy the company I had worked so hard to build. I realized this battle wasn't over. It had only just begun. That evening, I decided to call Michael. I couldn't let him keep avoiding responsibility. Despite the rage inside me, I knew I had to face him, not for friendship, but for justice. I needed to make it clear once again that he couldn't escape the truth. Michael picked up as soon as I called, his voice sounding tired and worried. Alex, I know we've drifted too far apart, but I really don't want things to go any further. What's going too far, Michael? I asked, my voice stern. You and Kate have destroyed everything. This isn't just a family issue anymore. It's about the company. I can't just sit back and let you continue to hurt me. Alex, I know you're angry, but I can't stand to see our company fall into the hands of a scam artist. Kate's just doing everything she thinks is right. You have to understand that. I just wanted to protect what we built together. I don't need protection from a traitor, Michael, I interrupted, my voice cutting through any compromise. I won't let you or Kate keep destroying this company. You will pay for what you've done. I won't let you continue to manipulate me. I hung up without another word. My heart was filled with anger and hatred. All I had ever considered to be friends were now nothing but betrayers, people who had hurt me. The next day, I went to my lawyer's office, determined to take the necessary steps to protect my company. Karen, I want to resolve this once and for all. Do whatever it takes so I can buy Michael's shares. I won't let him destroy what I've built. Karen looked at me seriously, nodding. We're going to face a tough legal battle. But I understand, Alex. We won't let them gain the upper hand. At the same time, I received a text from Emily, a message I hadn't received in a long time. Alex, I'm so sorry for everything. I know I can't fix anything now, but I don't want her to destroy everything. If possible, please forgive me. My heart cracked, but then I remembered everything they had done. Emily couldn't turn things around now. I couldn't forgive what she had done, and I had no reason to go back. That evening, I sat in my room, looking out over the brightly lit city, my heart filled with mixed emotions. The battle wasn't over, and I had to prepare for an even tougher fight. But one thing I was sure of, no matter what happened, I would fight to the end to protect my company and not let the betrayers trample my life any further.
ये बंद करना है